The science spirituality frontier. We are aware of the fact that gas particles, as per the kinetic theory of gases, are in constant motion. They exhibit perfect elastic collision, and so there is no net loss in kinetic energy in the system as a result of such collisions. Both momentum and kinetic energy are thus conserved. Individual particles move at different speeds, constantly colliding and changing directions. We use velocity to describe the movement of gas particles, thereby taking into account both speed and direction. Does this behavior of gas particles in gases are something akin to souls? Inquisitive individuals from the fields of science, astronomy, history, spirituality have delved into the subject in their own spheres of activities. The synergy outcomes from these fields could be profoundly astonishing, but somehow a very common string has not been developed in place that can bring in the pearls into one garland. Inquisitive researchers, however, have explained we common people that upon death, soul leaves the body and escapes to somewhere we really do not know. The word escape is used deliberately and consciously as the body grows old or ill or incapacitated because of accident or mishaps. The body loses the ability to hold the energetic, vibrating, and powerful soul in it. It is something like when an explosive detonates, the explosive cartridge, that is, the body of the explosive, cannot hold the chemicals within it, and the chemicals get released into the atmosphere. The released gases then become the part of the atmosphere, and under no circumstances these gases can be brought back inside the cartridge. Similar is the departure of the soul from the body of living beings. Once it leaves the body, it is gone forever from that body. Second, the departed soul is intangible. It lacks a body and hence it lacks all organs like heart, brain, neurons, and limbs. So it cannot act either to do a good job or do an evil act. Now that it doesn't have a brain or mind, it doesn't have intent. So it is actionless. Under no circumstances it can harm. It is totally harmless. It is a guess now. Now focus the two areas, namely the first one, science that deals with matters and death that deals with spiritual aspects which are matter free or devoid of physical. The departed soul is now in motion with zero chance to return. It gets into the chamber of infinity, the chamber that contains souls. In case of gas molecules, each molecule is unique and identifiable. For example, inside a finite container, there could be molecules of ammonia, hydrogen, nitrogen, oxygen, carbon dioxide, ozone, and so on. Now, think of the water molecules in the ocean. Here, each molecule of water is the same. So, we may take out a bucket full of water from the ocean, but water inside the bucket and water in the ocean remain qualitatively the same. Whichever way this bucket full of water is used, it finally goes back to the ocean. If it is used for drinking through desalination, it goes back into the ocean through the process of excretion from the body to the water bodies. to the streams, to the rivers, and finally into the ocean. Upon death, 70% of the body, that is water, goes back to the ocean through different paths and patterns. If the bucketful of water is used to sprout one seed or 1000 seeds, it gives life to those many seeds. Finally, the water grows in the plants and saplings and then generate water which goes back to the ocean. If tons of water are used in the industrial manufacturing, then the water flows out from the final product when it is finally used or consumed. Water evaporates from the water bodies through evapotranspiration, forms clouds, and comes back as rainwater and then goes back to its origin, that is the ocean. So, does it happen identical in the case of souls? The souls residing in each one of us and other living beings are identical. The soul doesn't represent a body. The soul is intangible and its presence keeps us alive, kicking, and operating. The soul doesn't belong to no body or any body. We all use the final goodbye by saying, "Let the departed soul rest in peace." We never tell, "Let the departed soul of so and so or Mr. or Mrs. so and so rest in peace." The departed souls in their intangible forms are in the ocean of infinity. There is no one on one relationship between soul and body or soul on soul. That is why the cosmic form of Sri Krishna described in the 11th chapter of Srimad Bhagavad Gita is not a spiritual chapter but a complete scientific book in totality. Now, a bit of discussion about what we believe and what in fact it is. The gene always gets transferred from parents to offspring. It is never the soul, and for the same reason, the peculiar tendencies and diseases get passed on from generation to generation. That is the reason there is something like hereditary diseases, but never something like hereditary souls. Thus, look-alike parents and children are seen, but soul-alike are impossible to find, unless, of course, the armed karma, which is also known as the Sanchita karma, is not completed in this lifetime. Souls of noble people like Bhishma get into the ocean of infinity and never take another body or another life. Such people complete their armed karma and the prarabdha karma here in their present lifetime. If we can understand and apply the kinetic theory of gases into the science of spirituality, then actions in our present life make the lives of ours and those coming in contact with us will be graceful, painless, and divine. The moksha or the liberation of soul from entering into the next life form is just like the departed soul entering into the zone of black hole space. We can call that moksha prapti anchala or mruksha prapti sthana, reserved for souls. Such departed souls are then become unfetchable. These are gone forever. No one can bring souls from this place to make it enter into newer bodies. Oh.